this meeting of the Winnebago County Board of Supervisors to order. First thing, hopefully all of you are checked in. The next will be the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Supervisor Powers.
Creator of all things, look with compassion on the whole human family. Take away the arrogance and hatred which infect our hearts. Break down the walls that separate us. Unite us in bonds of love and work through our prayers and through our struggles and confusion, that we might accomplish our work here in Winnebago County. In all good time, may all communities, nations, and races work together in harmony to serve the common good. Amen.
Vice Chairman Fari. Motion made and seconded to adopt this evening's agenda. All those in favor signify by... Yes, sir.
I would request that we amend tonight's agenda, and that the amendment would be to remove resolution 0241-022026. I do not believe that that is in the realm of Winnebago County, and I am afraid that the debate and discussion will only serve to divide this body that has worked together so well for the last 3 years that I'm aware of. So my motion would be to amend the agenda and remove that resolution from the agenda.
You get the second? Who seconded it? Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Not hearing any. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. Okay, do you have who said it? Can we have the nays, please? It was majority. It's Holtz, Powers, and Browski. Hilberson. Right, so it's three. It was by majority anyway, so it passed. Yes, if you would please rephrase it then.
Thank you. Based on the previous motion, I move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed. You can leave if you want, but anybody can still speak on the subject if you would like. I'm just telling you. So, because it's anything to do with Winnebago County. At this time, public comments. Time will be allowed for persons present to express their opinions on any resolution or ordinance that appears on the agenda, as well any matter over which this body has jurisdiction. Pursuant to Rule 6.4 of the Rules of the Winnebago County Board of Supervisors, the County Board shall limit all public comments to 2 minutes. So if you'd like to come forward, go to either one of the mics, state your name and address, and tell us what you'd like to talk about. Anyone?
It's my first time. I'm sorry, guys, so bear with me. Just to be clear, did you guys shut down the M? Was M the one that got shut down? Right, for denouncing ICE. So can I still talk about it?
Yes.
Oh, I can. Okay, all right. All right, bear with me. I do have some copies of just what I'm going to be using. Oh, I'm sorry. Sarah McIninch, 1119 Otter Ave, Oshkosh. Thanks, Frank. So I have some of the things I would like to talk about that are actual facts. I don't know if I can give you some of these or how you like to do this. I got 2 minutes.
Two.
Okay.
Just go ahead and read what you have. You have 2 minutes.
Okay, here we go. So we need ice, right? That's silly. Obama used ice and actually had the highest deportations. So we need ice. But we know, based on even the latest whistleblower, the Ryan Swain, he said they're not being trained correctly. They don't even know how to deal with escalated situations or lethal. We know that they're putting detention centers in for profit. That's silly, guys. We're paying for them to make detention centers, though they're telling us that they cost us so much money. So do we let them cost us money while they're working in here and building stuff? Or do we pay to have them in detention centers? That's just crazy. All I'm asking for is for us to put some control if they do come here, right? Let them do judicial warrants. That's all we want, is them to just follow the rules. Judicial warrants. Please take off the masks. Even if they don't, they have to wear badges. And even if they don't take off their masks, we know already that most of their faces have already been leaked. We can find them if we have to. That's just the way it is. So all I'm asking for is to get the ice we had before. There's career ICE agents that are dying right now inside because this is not the ICE they signed up for. And we know they're not even paying the people that are there. The morale's awful. I don't think the ICE people that signed up thought it was going to be this ruthless. And so I really think we have to just reevaluate both. I mean, we said liberty and justice for all. We just said that. And then when we prayed about being as a community. How can we say those things on the front end and then throw them all the way when we watch what they're doing? We've got to look in our hearts, guys. We have to go back to center. Yes, we need ICE, but we need ICE to do what we ask them to do, not to cause this pain and strife. Because we all know people that are scared. We all know people that are affected. We have people who worked for us or did jobs for us that are good, decent people that have no judicial warrants. So I'm just asking we denounce the parts that we know are wrong.
Time,
And we
ma'am.
stand up for those that are right.
Anyone else wish to speak?
Crystal Laux, Winnebago County Supervisor, District 2. I'm very disappointed that we decided not to take a stand on where we saw what we saw ICE do in Minnesota. I see this resolution as a promise to our constituents that we will do everything that we can to not have that happen here. They have moved out of Minneapolis. They have moved into counties that are much more like our own. I don't want that to come here. And I wanted to tell our people, our residents, not just our citizens, but all of our people, even our immigrants, even our refugees, even our undocumented people, that we would protect them as much as we could, that we were there for them, that we care about them, that our duty on this board is to the people. So I am very disappointed in this board for not being willing to take a stand. Thank you.
Mike Krieger, 1788 Hunters Glen Drive, Oshkosh. I feel it despicable, disgraceful, heartbreaking to be in a room of people that are elected by the people of this county to represent them in the best way possible, to know that they are doing nothing to protect people, with evidence, overwhelming evidence, that people are being hurt by this. Generational trauma is being caused to families and children all over this country. On the world stage, we are looked at as, we used to be the beacon of hope, now we're the dim light of dim-witted idiots that can't stand up for anyone. The hundreds of millions of dollars being spent on ICE to buy automatic machine guns and bullets and less than lethal pepper spray and balls and rubber bullets and flashbangs and trucks, while we are talking about saving money and this made-up Doge finding fraud, waste, and abuse, when all the waste and abuse is being occurring right now. The ICE of pre-January 2025 is a completely different ice than the Frankenstein ice that exists now. And when I say ice, I mean ice CBP and every sub-agency that goes along with it. So anybody in this room that can feel that they live a life of compassion but still not stand up for all people needs to revisit themselves and wonder how they can sleep at night knowing that millions of people across this country cannot get a good night's sleep and will not for many years to come. That's what I got here.
Anyone else?
Tim Moore, 1719 Chestnut Street. I'm going to speak to an item on the agenda. I'm here representing Oshkosh Youth Soccer Club and United Soccer, and both clubs, the two largest clubs that use the complex at Winnebago County Park. Both of us are in favor of the parking opportunity to charge for parking for tournaments and other activities. Both clubs are in favor of this opportunity. United runs two large tournaments that affect mostly out around the state families, so they're not affecting Winnebago County families. The revenue generated would be significant to help support the environment of soccer. The focus that for Oshkosh Youth Soccer is we're a rec club here that services Winnebago County residents. We probably would do the parking fee option as a donation when we run our tournament because it's focused strictly on our club families. It's not a statewide opportunity to draw people in. Both of our clubs see this as an excellent opportunity for the partnership that has continued to grow with the Parks Department at Winnebago County. Oshkosh Youth Soccer pays through maintenance and other arrangements of over $15,000 annually. This would just increase the opportunities for us to support what our families love and enjoy about Winnebago County Park. So we are, again, United Soccer Club and Oshkosh Youth Soccer Club, both in favor of the opportunity to have parking fees given to the tournament environment. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak?
John Marco, 4553 Plumbers Point Road, town of Oshkosh. I'd like to talk about denouncing ICE. I wore the badge for 20 years, corrections. I know that we have use of force continuum. We don't cover our faces. We have names. I respect the blue. I see the sign all the time, the flags. Support the blue. But when somebody in our ranks disrespects everything we stand for, there's a limit, and it's our responsibility as corrections officers to be able to stand up for that. And I'm hoping that when we do hear this resolution, that we'll be able to stand up for what we're going to do if somebody crosses the line, that they aren't living up to our standards for the Sheriff's Department, the City of Oshkosh Police, and all the other police departments that are in this county. Someday, you're going to be down my street and having to protect me, hopefully, as your next congressman for this district. I wave at you every time I go by a police car. I am doing the finger wave to say hi to you. If somebody is pulled over or I see you on the side of the road, I wind up pulling up somewhat back so I'm not a threat to you, but I wind up asking you, do you need any help with whatever you're doing? I am that neighbor who comes with you. But I remember my grandmother coming here 105 years ago, coming at that train station, a 16-year-old little brunette, and not speaking a word of English. How would she be treated today? We are all immigrants. There aren't too many of us that are part Native American, and we need to be able to stand up for the refugees that are around here today and the people that need our help.
Thank you, sir.
Toby Vandenhoel, 4610 Island View Drive, District 12. I didn't come here to speak. Actually, I just came to listen and watch. And I am very surprised, disappointed by all of you. Over the last 5 years, there have been issues that are outside the jurisdiction of the county. And I thought, why are we discussing this? Spending hours upon hours discussing issues outside our jurisdiction. Well, we did because our citizens came to speak about those issues, and we listened, and we discussed, and you voted. I would ask the same for every issue that two supervisors get together, write a resolution, and bring to the board, that you afford them the same right that all of the other issues that came upon us the last 5 years. Or we change the way we operate and we don't discuss things that are not under our jurisdiction. You gotta play it fair both ways. So leave it with you guys to figure out how you wanna do that going forward, but that was not fair to everyone here and everyone who saw that topic on the agenda and the people who care about this cause.
Anyone else wishing to speak?
Bill Demler, 4625 Plumbers Point Road. I want to thank you for throwing this resolution out. I don't think Winnebago County has any right to interfere or have a denunciation of what ICE is doing in Minnesota. It's not here. And the people they're going after broke the law. They broke the law coming here, and they're just trying to round them up. I don't care if I'm speeding down 41 to get to my granddaughter's birthday party. If I get pulled over, I'm getting a ticket because I broke the law. I don't care how nice these people are, if they want to assimilate to our community, they broke the law. And I'm glad you turned down this resolution. Thank you.
Joan Patterson, 2430 Parkside Drive. I wasn't going to speak on this, but after hearing what I've heard, I'm choosing to. Supervisor Ranke and Supervisor Locks, I need to ask you what you were thinking when you wrote a resolution denouncing ICE operations in Minnesota. The fact that we're having to waste our time tonight to even speak about this is nonsense. Legal counsel, I'm shocked that this has even been given consideration. You speak of principles of freedom, equality, due process, and justice, and that all individuals must enjoy equal protection under the law. Do you realize that this speaks to American citizens, not people who enter our country illegally? Constitutional rights are for citizens of this country. When people come across our border illegally, they have broken the law already, regardless of what their intentions are once they get here. ICE has been active in over 20 states in the past year, doing the same things they did in Minnesota, and this type of insanity has not happened in those states. Yet the heavily funded protesters are in Minnesota, conveniently, as all the crime and fraud there are being exposed. Puerto Vallarta and other parts of Mexico are currently under attack by a vicious gang called the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. This gang is currently also established in every single state in America. That's 50 states, 50 sections of gangs, assuming there's only one in each state. Do you understand that they could rise up at the exact same date and time? Can you let me talk? Shut up. At the exact same time and date, and make our streets look like the images we see in Mexico? Do you realize that the same people who are terrorizing Mexico today are the same people that ICE is trying to deport from the US, and you are speaking out against it? I suggest you rethink your priorities and your loyalties. Regarding your comments about Good and Alex Preddy, they would be alive today if they just stayed home and let the law enforcement do what they were hired to do. I sincerely hope this resolution works against you in the upcoming election and that the people
Time is
recognize
up.
this woke rhetoric for what it is.
Time is up.
Ridiculous.
Anyone else wishing to speak? Anyone else wishing to speak? So, anyone on Zoom?
My name is Matt Smith, 7668 Oak Hill Road, Amro. This is also in regards to the ICE resolution. I was trained in the proper use of force as a military police officer in the United States Air Force. That training was very valuable, and a part of it that I wish more people understood is that your actions are what determines how an officer responds to you. If an officer is acting according to their use of force model, then the person's actions determine a threat level, and that threat level determines the officer's response. What this means is that you have a lot of influence over how your interaction with that officer goes. Unfortunately, both of the shooting deaths that have happened in Minnesota were avoidable, but they were avoidable because of that person's actions. Those deaths were tragic, but they are not grounds for opposing the enforcement of bipartisan, democratically enacted immigration law. I would like to point out that the people of Winnebago County who put you in these seats voted by a majority for Donald Trump, and he was very clear during his campaign that he was going to engage in deportations. The people of this county knew that when they elected him. So if you were to pass that resolution, that would be contrary to the democratically expressed will of the people of this county. That resolution and things like it are meant to weaponize your empathy and compassion to get you to agree to things that you otherwise would not. Do not allow your Midwest niceness to be used against you. I applaud you for striking down this resolution. Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak? Anyone else wishing to speak? Anyone else? Anyone on Zoom?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. State your name and address, please.
Cameron Clark, 1078 Oxford Court here in Neenah. I just want to, first of all, go back to a meeting that happened a few weeks ago and thank Sheriff Motz for what he is doing in the county jail. He was just lambasted by people with an agenda, and I'm so thankful that he's actually here upholding the law and working with federal law enforcement. I'm also very thankful for all of the supervisors tonight who understand what it is that county government deals with. You guys, a quick shout out to the guy talking about soccer parking in the midst of all this ICE conversation. Like, that guy's here for an issue you actually have control over. And instead, all the rest of us are trying to bloviate over federal policies and politics that you have no control over here at this level. So thank you to the County Board of Supervisors, at least those who realize that you were elected to do a job, and that job is to officiate what happens here within the county. And we certainly will hold federal representatives accountable for their actions or support them if they're doing the right things. But that's where this conversation needs to happen. So for everyone who voted against this voted to remove this resolution from the agenda, thank you. And I would just say, for the political grandstanding that I'm seeing from the two supervisors who introduced this, I'm just so thankful that both of them have challengers. I'm so thankful that we have the opportunity to elect people who will actually focus on the job we elect them to do, instead of fake crying at a microphone and putting out resolutions that have nothing to do with the duties that you were elected to represent us for. So thank you to everyone tonight who voted against that, adding that resolution to the agenda.
Anyone else up on team? No? One more time, anyone from the audience wish to speak? Okay, not hearing any. That part is closed. Communication from county clerk. Excuse me.
The following resolutions from other counties will be referred to the Legislative Committee meeting. Crawford County, Resolution Number 20-2025, resolution urging legislative action to address county funding challenges under Wisconsin's tax levy freeze. Barron County, Resolution Number 2026-4, resolution to support Wisconsin establishing a membership with the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, and in parentheses MS-ISAC, to cover the cost of membership for all state, local, tribal, and territorial organizations. Marinette County, Resolution Number 623-26, resolution to support Wisconsin establishing a membership with the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center. Marathon County, Resolution R426, resolution requesting Wisconsin Counties Association lobby state legislature and governor on legislation for greater local control for Wisconsin counties. The following notices of claim will be referred to the Personnel and Finance Committee. Number 2, notice of claim from Dennis C. Strong II for a First Amendment violation of the United States Constitution. Number 3, notice of claim from Dennis C. Strong II for slanderous remarks he overheard at the 216 State Street building. Notice of claim from R.J. Gross for damage to his mailbox from a Winnebago County snowplow. And notice of claim from Farmers Insurance on behalf of Wet Paint LLC for damage to their vehicle from a Winnebago County snowplow. The following petitions for zoning amendments will be referred to the Planning and Zoning Committee. Petition for zoning amendment 02-26001, Oshkosh Area School District, Town of Algoma, rezone from A2 General Agriculture District to B3 General Business District for tax parcel numbers 002-013114, 002-013109, and 002-013113. Petition for zoning map amendment 02-26002, Winnebago County Planning and Zoning to establish county general zoning in the shoreland areas for the town of Winneconne for multiple parcels. Petition for zoning map amendment 02-26003, Winnebago County Planning and Zoning to establish county general zoning in the shoreland areas for the town of Utica for multiple parcels. Petition for zoning map amendment 03-26001, Winnebago County Planning and Zoning to establish county general zoning in the shoreland areas for the town of Black Wolf for multiple parcels. And the last petition that was withdrawn, so that will not be going to Planning and Zoning. And then we received a thank you card from a scholarship winner, Holly Rowe, from Oshkosh West High School. She just states, "Dear Winnebago County Board, thank you again for this wonderful opportunity. This scholarship helped me a lot last semester, and it will continue to do so for the next one. I really appreciate being chosen and being able to use this money towards textbooks and tuition so that I am able to pursue higher education. It means a lot. With gratitude, Holly Rowe." And that's it.
Thank you. This is not on your agenda, but it's something that we got started and was very important in this and that, and I thought that this should be done in this. So at this time, I'd like to invite Executive Hintz and the UW Oshkosh volleyball team to come to the front of the room, please, for a special proclamation today. On December 6, 2025, the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh women's volleyball team won their first ever national championship and the 51st national championship in the university history across all sports. In this sixth NCAA tournament match, they did lose a single set, a feat that didn't beat accomplishment in 21 years.
Tonight, we present the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh women's volleyball team with a proclamation commemorating their historic season and national championship. The University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh women's volleyball team not only excels on the court, but in the community and in the classroom. The team hosts a free community night every year that celebrates youth volleyball in the region, and they run excellent youth camps. 4 Titans were named to the academic all-district team, and Sam Perlberg earned first-team academic All-American team. And for the thousands of people streaming tonight's meeting at home, if you haven't attended a Titans volleyball game, you should check it out. The Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Conference is a strong conference, and you can see some incredible volleyball right here in Winnebago County. And the energy is incredible when Kolf erupts with every Grace Juergens kill. It's a fantastic community of fans.
So at this time, on behalf of Winnebago County, we'd like to present you with this proclamation, and I'd like to convey our gratitude for your leadership, athletics, academics, and in our community.
Coach, do you want to come up and say a few words?
Well, thank you. This is it's an absolute honor, and I didn't know I was going to get to speak, so I'm completely unprepared. But it's an honor to be here at the building that represents our entire city and county. And as we just heard, it's a very diverse population with a lot of great ideas and opinions that come from all different corners of our county. The one thing that's amazing for us is that we don't have to worry about that because everybody gets behind Titan athletics. And so one thing that I also know is that coaches get probably too much credit for all of the W's that end up in the win column. And so if it's okay, I'd like to pass the mic to 2 of our captains who want to say a quick word on behalf of our team. That's all right.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace and this is Sammy. We just want to say thank you, and we're so grateful to be here, and we're so thankful for the Oshkosh community that we have to support us throughout our season and beyond.
Yeah, we actually had a fan bus come support us in Illinois during the Elite 8 tournament, so we're feeling the support from the whole community.
That's always a pleasure doing things like that. Committees, commissions, and boards. Is anyone with committee, commissions, and boards? Supervisor Patterson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Winnebago County Veterans Service Commission will not be meeting in March due to issues, we would not have a quorum. So again, the County Veteran Service Commission will not be meeting in March this month. Thank you.
Anyone else? Supervisor Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In a few minutes, our county clerk will be reading off the names of retirees who, are honoring our retirees. And I just want to make a note about one of them. Supervisor Hanson and I have for a number of years volunteered at the Winnebago County Fair and as judges. And new retiree Ron Montgomery, he also worked with us in volunteering at the county fair. I just wanted to add that to his list of accomplishments. Thank you.
Anyone else? Not seeing anyone. County executives reports.
Now? Okay. Great. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Got a bunch to get through, so I'll get going. Wanted to give a brief update. You probably saw the announcement last week that Faith Technologies had concluded their 90-day due diligence exploration of the campus. They decided not to make a formal offer. Ultimately, the costs of rehabilitating a campus weren't there to make it work. A lot of it also had to do with the location for a national training center not being really central to, where they are truly national, and bringing in 2,000 to 3,000 people to the Fox Valley, it was cost prohibitive. We knew this was always going to be a possibility for us. I'm glad we went through the process with Faith. It was good to get feedback on the building from people who were going deep into the planning and practical use process. We're now going to return to the path we were on before. We are working on an agreement to give an entertainment management company a window to get in and investigate the space, and are confident that if everything goes well, we'll have management of the Communication Arts Center and the Field House open, an agreement in place in the coming weeks. We have a few more inquiries from nonprofits interested in renting the space, and we had a business who, had expressed interest earlier that I'm now going to reach out to again now that the Faith 90-day period has ended. I know that we have need for housing in the county, and we have had some developers ask about the undeveloped parts of the campus. So stay tuned. Our next step is really to get a process set up where we can get a community visioning process going before we do a market assessment and figure out what the best use of the property is going forward. Shoreland zoning. You may recall that last year the board amended Chapter 27 of the General Code to remove county responsibility for general zoning in the shoreland areas with an effective April 1st, 2026 date. Passing this authority to towns was a process that required action by both the towns and the county. And next month you will need to approve resolutions from each town to complete this transition. Towns had two choices given the board's decision: either adopt general zoning like A1 or R2 under town ordinances for each parcel in the shoreland area, or follow the state statute prescribed criteria to hold a public hearing, approve the zoning by town board vote, and send it to the county for review and approval to adopt the town maps. Or towns could remain under county general zoning in the shoreland with board action. We're 5 weeks away, 5 weeks and 1 day from the withdrawal of county general zoning in shoreland areas. And the chart on the screen, and I don't know, the font is probably a little small, shows what we know at this point. The towns in green have all submitted the statutorily required documents to adopt their own general zoning or to remain in county zoning. The towns in yellow have been communicating a direction with planning and zoning staff, but we still do not have all of the required documents submitted, although I believe the town of Oshkosh said they would have everything in by Friday. And the towns in red have had limited communications about their directions, but we believe they are working on the changes. The Planning and Zoning Committee has a special meeting scheduled for March 9th. They would need any documents submitted by the end of this week in order for the material to be prepared for that Planning and Zoning meeting and to get it to the county board in time for the March 17th board meeting. If we don't get the materials submitted by the end of the week, the towns in yellow and red would be without general zoning in the shoreland areas, at least effective April 1st. Next slide. Electronic applications for employment in Winnebago County went live finally. February 12th. Job listings are now located in the same spot on the website as you can see on the screen, but now applicants can apply online instead of having to send in an application through email or physical mail. The system includes links to share postings on social media or directly through email or a messaging app. It looks like we have some nursing positions open at Parkview. I know this has been a long time in the works. I really want to thank Jennifer Ritten and our IT director and Mark Hobick and their teams for getting this project done. I'm happy we're able to deliver a more modern experience for applicants and a smoother process for hiring managers. We've received 79 online applications thus far, which is on par with the rate we received applications last year. This project is in service to our strategic pillar of efficient government. The revolving loan fund, RFP. Remember, we passed the revolving loan fund in December, and the request for proposal for the revolving loan fund was posted on February 18th and will be open for 3 weeks. The RFP was shared with Chairman Egan and Industrial Development Board Chair Forsetto for input before posting, and they'll be a part of the evaluation process before a recommendation comes before the board. At the last board meeting, I think Supervisor Binder had asked for an update on the planetarium, just some revenue, how it's going. If you remember, our commitment to the Fox Cities campus began with preserving the childcare operations, which are also going very well. And we maintain a good relationship with Menasha, and they'll be part of our conversations going forward with the Menasha School District. But it was also about bringing the Barlow staff on board as county employees. Last summer, we transitioned the operations at Barlow to be within the county structure. And by, I think, the beginning of August, that started. The planetarium is operating during the day for school field trips. My daughter goes on Tuesday, serving its educational mission. And Friday and Saturday nights, it's open for laser shows. Laser Floyd continues. And bookings have remained pretty strong. 2025 operations include the transition from UW-Oshkosh to Winnebago County, and that represented some downtime in the Barlow operations in July, and we've included some of the estimates based on records that UW-Oshkosh provided. 2025 revenue came in at $172,000 versus $279,000 in expenses across University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh and Winnebago County. Our portion of the revenue was $79,669, which is 9.3% above the same time frame in 2024, despite not being open in July last summer. So since the county took over the planetarium overall, our revenue has exceeded what the prior year was considerably, despite not being open for a month. And I want to credit Jamie Roush, our Director of Administration, working with Terry from the planetarium and a marketing team that we've used to kind of boost attendance and operations. This January 2026, revenue at Barlow was just over $26,000 against just an estimated $27,000 in expenses, and February is tracking ahead of February 2025. So our indicators suggest that the Barlow is on pace for more revenue than the budget projected that we passed in October. Cold weather. When I started in June, I met sort of with our team saying I didn't want cold weather to hit without us being prepared. We have experienced 3 extended bouts of extremely cold weather so far this winter, and I just wanted to share sort of a high-level update about what the county response has been and what our community partnerships have been. Our emergency management, public health, and human services staff work with partners around the county to identify emergency sheltering plans and capacities, and then to coordinate with these partners as those plans are implemented. Some of the partners include law enforcement, food pantries, the faith-based groups, neighborhood outreach groups, public libraries, county communications team, Father Carr, Motel 6, and Pizza Ranch. Our coordination efforts include not only beds at shelters like Day by Day, but the Salvation Army and Pillars in the northern part of the county, but daytime warming shelters as well. Our team was in constant contact with these partners to ensure they had what their organizations needed to carry out and expand their missions and to address the needs of the moment. This isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, and the response team across the county worked diligently to find the right solution for everyone. This takes time and trained staff, and organizations like Day by Day expanded their capacity, stretching their space. Salvation Army expanded their mission to open some capacity for overnight sheltering, which stressed their staffing and volunteer structure. Our Human Services team expanded days and hours of operation at the State Street Center and also provided staff to the Salvation Army when necessary. We mobilized crisis workers to provide rides, support partners with staffing and financial assistance, and increase our services offered at State Street. For instance, 2 of the coldest days happened on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, which were holidays, so the Oshkosh Public Library wasn't open. So we worked to open the State Street Day Center so that folks would have a warm place to go during the day. We had another cold spell a few weeks ago where local government was choosing to close operations, and we've been trying to try to make it more seamless, but you can see how complicated managing all these entities to be, and I just really wanted to acknowledge it. Cold weather sheltering remains a tenuous resource for our community. The service providers are stretched thin and demands grow. Our sheltered partners have limited staffing capacity and rely heavily on community support for funding and volunteer hours. Our community countywide needs more support, more options, more shelter bed, and greater access to shelter during adverse conditions. Our work over the next 9 months will be to develop standardized, predictable plans with our partners that can be operationalized across the county to provide enough sheltering options for residents in need without overburdening the systems in place. That means including more stakeholders, increasing funding sources, and collaborating on filling gaps in service, and of course, engaging with our municipal partners. Next slide. I recently met with Mackenzie, our medical examiner, and I wanted just to give an update on our suicide and overdose numbers in our county for 2026, as we're seeing an unexpected and concerning increase in deaths by suicide. In 2025, we had 27 deaths total by suicide in the county, and as of last Friday, we've seen 9 already in 2026, which is higher than expected for this point in the year. In 2025, we recorded 26 overdose deaths, with 1 still pending. We currently have 0 confirmed overdose deaths in 2026, with 3 cases pending results. I just thought it was important to update you, given what we do in this county, the emphasis that we've had on combating both suicide and the work of our public health department, and the combined community efforts at reducing deaths from overdoses. But with what we're seeing in the medical examiner's office, the increased caseloads are stressful for staff and leading to burnout. So I met with our acting medical examiner to discuss options, and I authorized a project position to bring them back up to a staff of 4 during Cheryl's absence. From a policy perspective, we know that there are many factors that are associated with increased suicide risk, including substance use disorders, unemployment, financial strain, and chronic pain. There are a lot of different options for people to call, but obviously want to remind folks that Winnebago County residents locally can call the Winnebago County Crisis Service Intervention number at 920-233-7707. Staff awards, we have fantastic staff across the county, and as we always would like to do with our programs, we need to promote the work that we do more, and we need to promote the work of the people that do the work more. And I'd like to highlight the public recognition for the fantastic work being done. This month, I'd like to highlight our Crisis Intervention Helpline, part of our Human Services Department, who received an award a few months ago for Best Mental Health Service in Oshkosh for 2025 by the Business Rate, who runs the Best of 2025 Oshkosh Awards. I was able to go to their meeting 2 Mondays ago to meet with about 20 staff thank them in person and listen to some of what their challenges are like on the job. So congratulations again to our crisis intervention helpline team for being recognized for their work in the community. I also want to recognize achievements from our solid waste department to promote recycling in our community. Kelly Rayer, our education and outreach specialist at Solid Waste, runs a Recycling Right Masterclass, and the county gets regular, unsolicited, positive feedback on this program. Kelly and the team at Solid Waste are doing a great, proactive, fantastic job of community outreach. The more education we do, the greater compliance we get with recycling standards, the more financially effective the solid waste operations are. So thank you, Kelly, for bringing the valuable class to our community. And with that, I'll pause for any questions. That was a lot, right? Almost got, yeah.
Supervisor Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. County Executive, when you're talking about the various suicides, do you separate those out by suicides committed by our veterans? Do you have any statistics on that?
I don't, but it's certainly something that we, it mostly came out of my meeting with the acting medical examiner. And I haven't had a chance to discuss it with public health or with the veteran services, but it is something that, in trying to identify trends and identify need, we probably do want to look at.
Okay, thank you.
Supervisor Bureau.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. County Executive, when you talked about the staff awards, that kind of caught my attention, and I put a few pieces together because you talked earlier about working with a marketing group, to get the word out there regarding the planetarium. And often, when I interact with constituents, what is it that county government does? And that might be an interesting way to put those two things together, to highlight the success stories of, like you said with the recycling, to get that out there, whether it be a press release or other mechanisms, because it helps show the extensive services that the county offers and the value it brings. Just a thought.
No, it's a great point. I mean, we talked about it when we were doing Parkview's budget last year, in trying to, promote the CNA positions that we have available, but also telling a little bit more about the kind of work, that is done. So I think that's a good idea.
Supervisor Fracetto.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. County Executive, thank you very much for your presentation. When you were talking about the Barlow Planetarium and the increased revenues, I'm curious, and this may be too much into the weeds, so if you don't know the answer, that's perfectly fine.
Too much into the stars, we like to say.
Okay, I'll go with that one too. But do you happen to know to what degree the traveling exhibit added to the revenue stream, if any? Thank you.
Great question. I don't, but it surely wouldn't take me long to find out and to share that next time. I think, dialing down, because I'm, curious too. No, but we'll find out.
Supervisor Laux.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for your presentation. Going back to the Faith Technologies pulling out, it wasn't feasible for them to bring in 2,000 to 3,000 employees. Can you just elaborate on the issues that they found? Like, was it lack of housing in the area or schools not being prepared for that number of?
No. Sorry if I wasn't clear. So, they were great. I mean, they we had been meeting every few weeks. They were looking at a 3-phased, building out a full training center campus that, probably was somewhere between $50 and $100 million of investment. I think sometimes rehabbing old space is more complicated than building the exact space that you need. I think that was part of it. The dollar figure that I got on the training space was that to fly the trainees, so they were going to train 2,000 to 3,000 people a year. They would be here for 4 weeks each. right? So they would fly them here, put them up in hotels. It would have been great for our regional economy, but it was not, that was a pretty big number for them to swallow. If given where their trainees would be coming from around the country, the Fox Valley wasn't the most cost-effective destination. Versus they have a pretty big place in Kansas City, which might be a more central location. That was something that they highlighted.
Supervisor Bureau, second time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I must admit, I was in Space Club in high school. So I'm going to bring up an idea for what it's worth, coming back to the difference between the income and the expenses, is whether there's an opportunity for Barlow basically to put a field camp on or a boot camp on for kids that like astronomy. They could develop their own show to put on for the public. Because if they do that, every parent and every sibling is going to be at those shows. And it's a great way, to get the word out there, what it does, and it gets more people interested. So just put that out there as a whatever.
The good news is they do have a space camp, correct? Isn't that right? Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if they put on performances, but it's definitely aimed at
Okay,
your
good.
NASA-driven, star-driven kid. But I like so you're saying we could have a space camp and then they could go over to the CAC and put on a
Well,
show?
no, they actually learn how to run the planetarium.
Oh,
They can learn how to run the planetarium and actually develop a show and put it on. Yeah, and that's one of the things I did long ago when I was in space camp.
if I'd known we could have gotten some in-kind work out of you.
Perhaps.
We could have saved some
I
money.
aim for the stars, why not?
So,
Okay, I see
thank
no
you.
one else at this time, so I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appointments. Oh, yes, your appointments, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Chair. So for the Fox Valley Workforce Development Board, I would like to appoint Kirk Rademacher to replace Dustin Delsman for a term expiring June 30th, 2027, as Dustin has taken a new role and asked to be replaced.
Is there a second? Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
County executives report, the only ones that are missing is, and they've called in and talked to me, is Supervisor Hancock Cook, and Supervisor Bender is in Washington, I believe, so that's where they're at. County Board Chair, I'll have more coming up. I just wanted to tell you that this is your packet for next week. We have another meeting coming up already, so that's what it is laying on your desk, so don't say you didn't get it in the mail. If there's any changes or whatever, they'll probably sing across email or whatever, so. Other than that, I'm happy to see just about everyone here because of the weather and that, so I'm not gonna hold you up and we'll keep right on going. Consent agenda. I do have one. Supervisor Mako has a question. You don't want to pull it, but he has a question on a consent agenda. No, you don't have it. You don't even have that question anymore. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Honoring employees. Just like we did before. Do you want to read them or do you want me to?
However you want me to do it.
Just so Supervisor Cox makes the motion.
Do you want him to make it first?
Sure.
Okay, so it's up to Supervisor Cox.
Okay, Supervisor Cox, Resolution 0228 and 022026.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Have a commendation for Mr. James Hart. Resolution 0228 02/2026.
Seconded by Supervisor Holt. And we have Resolution 0229 022026. Supervisor Cox.
I offer Resolution 22902 2026 for accommodation for Ron Montgomery.
Second by Supervisor Holtz. Resolution number 0230-022026. Supervisor Cox.
I have the resolution 02-2026 for accommodation for Ralph Potrans.
Seconded by Supervisor Holtz.
I have the commendation for James Hart. Jim has been a dedicated and valued employee of Winnebago County since April 19th, 1999, demonstrating unwavering commitment to public service for more than 2 decades. Since joining the Child Support Department in 2013, Jim consistently exemplified professionalism, integrity, and a genuine passion for helping others. Jim is widely known for his positive attitude and his willingness to assist anyone at any time with anything they may need. His approachability and collaborative spirit have made him a trusted colleague and a source of encouragement within the workplace. No matter the challenge, Jim was often heard with his well-known phrase, "I've never been better," a reflection of the positivity brought to others. Winnebago County extends its sincere appreciation and gratitude to Jim for his years of dedication, reliability, kindness, and we are honored to have worked with you. Commendation for Ron Montgomery. Ron Montgomery served as a county board supervisor for 12 years from 1988 to 2000, winning his first election while a college senior at UW Oshkosh. In 2000, he began his career in the Winnebago County Human Resources Department as a human resource advisor. During Ron's 26 years in human resources, he has hired, coached, and guided countless employees and supported multiple departments. In addition, he was instrumental in teaching various training subjects for employees and conducting supervisory roundtables to support leadership staff. Ron also served as the county's primary public information officer, in addition to being the PIO for the Emergency Management Department. He was a dedicated professional that allowed his sense of humor to shine through to his team. Ron's total of 38 years of service will leave a lasting impact on Winnebago County, and we wish him well in his new adventures. Commendation for Ralph Potratz. Winnebago County proudly recognizes Ralph Potratz for his devoted and loyal 34 years of service to the Highway Department. Ralph began his career with the department in 1991 as a highway operator, where he was responsible for snow plowing and operating numerous pieces of equipment on construction projects. His strong work ethic, skill, and commitment to safety quickly made him a valued employee. In 2008, he was promoted to foreman, leading crews with professionalism, efficiency, and expertise on hundreds of miles of chip sealing projects and countless other road construction projects. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated exceptional dedication, technical skills, and leadership. Ralph's distinguished record and compassionate service is both commendable and appreciated. With over 34 years of county service, Ralph retired on February 3rd, 2026. Please join me in expressing our gratitude and best wishes as he enjoys his retirement.
You heard the motion made and seconded for the commendation for James Hart, Ron Montgomery, and Ralph Potratz. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Carried. Next is the consent agenda. Yes.
I would like to remove number 6 and number 7. Resolution 0232 and 0333.
Number 6 and number 7 has been removed. Do I hear a motion for the consent agenda?
I would like number 9 removed, please.
Number 9 is being removed.
That's ordinance 0233.
Anyone else? Do I hear a motion to approve of the rest of the consent agenda? Motion made and second to approve the consent agenda except for number 6, number 7, and number 9. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Resolution 0232022026, support of battery stewardship bill AB 713-SB 702. Vice Chairman Fari.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll move for approval of resolution, 0232, 2026. This resolution, was brought forward, to the legislative committee, from the issue centers around batteries and the collection of those batteries, which would make it, I believe, more cost-effective and simple, was brought to us by Waste Management. So this does require a three-fourths vote.
Seconded by Supervisor Cox. You have to vote by machine. Has to have a three-quarters vote. Take a minute. As you see, the clerk's office is kind of switching around, so everybody gets used to everything, so. Okay, you can vote. And yes.
Morris. Just Supervisor Cox.
Oh, he just did.
Never mind.
Gabbard.
Supervisor Gabbard? Okay.
And Supervisor
Yes,
Wise.
she said.
Wise, yep.
Supervisor Wise?
Did you? What did you say? You said yes, yes. All right, so then I guess.
That passed 32 to nothing. Resolution number 0233022026, supporting disaster assistance legislative AB 580/AB 581 SB 557 SB 558. Vice Chairman Fari.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This, resolution was brought forward to the, legislative committee by the Emergency Management Director. There are issues within these bills that would certainly benefit and support the positions our county is in right now. Once again, this does require a three-fourths vote. Thank you.
You want to do a machine vote again? Okay, yep,
Is there a second? Did you get a second?
Yep, yep.
Okay. You can vote again by machine. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Supervisor Hens.
With his mic turned. Oh.
Just like to state again that the consent agenda is a 100% vote. We do not need to pull these items for three-quarters votes. Thank you.
Ready?
So Supervisor Gabbard? Supervisor Gabbard.
Supervisor Gabbert? Yes.
And Supervisor Wise.
Supervisor Wise? That passed 33 to nothing. Number 9, ordinance number 0235-022026, amend Chapter 19.12 Special Event Fees to grant authorization for Winnebago County Parks Department to charge a fee for parking during special events with community parks. Go ahead.
I'll move it for discussion only.
Okay.
This is my resolution. Second.
Oh, she pulled it, though. The one that pulled it. Okay. So is there a second? Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Supervisor Dowling.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I asked my community for feedback on this, and I received replies from over 70 people. Their message was very clear. Residents are not in favor of this. They already pay taxes and property taxes that are supposed to support our parks. And when we charge them again just to access the parks during events, it feels like double taxation. Especially for families who are already paying for sports fees, registration costs, and travel expenses. This is not limited to the soccer or rugby events. This will also bleed eventually into the Hmong Festival and things of that nature. I understand the desire for stable funding for field maintenance, and I definitely support that. But the answer shouldn't be putting another paywall between residents and the park that they want to access and already fund. If we need long-term maintenance dollars, we should pursue solutions that are transparent and fair, like reinvesting a portion of our park's own year-end surplus back into the community park rather than charging residents to park at their own county facility. During the parks meeting, I was the lone no vote on this, and that's okay. But my job is to represent the community I serve, and they've been very clear about this. Before the resolution did pass the Parks Department, I did put a cap at $5 per car, even though for the reasons above, I cannot support the parking fee.
Supervisor Powers, did you want to speak on this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This particular amendment or resolution did have a great deal of back and forth on the Parks Commission, and we did end up with a vote of 4-1. It may not be, ideal for some of the people in Supervisor Dowling's district, but by and large, from what we had heard, there was support for this. And in fact, this evening, a supervisor said, I'm glad you all did something about parking. It's difficult sometimes during soccer events. So I would urge you to vote in favor of this. Thank you.
Supervisor Nelson.
Just kind of echo what Supervisor Powers said. We discussed this at length at the Parks Committee. The people that are getting the most use out of the park, the special events, whatever, that money is going to go right back into the park and maintaining the park. Even some of the users are encouraged. I would suggest that Supervisor Dowling's question to her constituents was, would you like to see an extra tax for parking at the park? Well, it was a pretty misleading question. It didn't explain where the money was going or what was going to happen. I suggest if you put out on Facebook who wants to pay more taxes tomorrow, you're going to get a majority that don't want to. So I would strongly encourage passing this slight increase in parking so that we can put more money back into the park that they're using.
Supervisor Buck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess out of the 33 supervisors, I don't know for sure, but I've attended the Copia Cup and the other Oshkosh soccer events for the last, 5 or 6 years. I would encourage all of you to come out, see those events for yourself. And more importantly, there's folks there from Marquette, Michigan, from all over. So to Supervisor Nelson's point, saying if you ask your constituents, hey, how would you like to get $10 million from folks from Illinois? I think you get 100% of them saying yes. So, and I'll continue on this thought process on soccer and bringing people to our community. It's a big deal. not only for the families, the joy that they get out of that, but also the economic impact. You go to these other communities with better fields, they have more tournaments there, they're spending money at the restaurants. It's, you know, it all goes in circle. You might say, well, I don't play soccer, my kids don't play soccer, my grandkids don't play soccer, but having a nice county facility, it represents our community and an economic development as well. So I hope you all support this. Thank you.
Supervisor Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I could just piggyback off of what Supervisors Nelson and Buck said and ask this question. Do we have any indication how much of the traffic is coming from out of Winnebago County?
Anyone answer that? Supervisor Buck.
I don't have a direct number for you, Supervisor Hanson, but I can tell you that, like I said, I know there was clubs from the UP and all over the state of Wisconsin. I know, I'm just trying to think now, there's Neenah Soccer, there's a couple there's 3 or 4 clubs in Winnebago County, and so the rest of them would be coming from outside the county. So I'd say the majority of the folks would be coming from outside the county. And again, I think from the soccer club's perspective, you heard them tonight, that they're saying, hey, we should capture these resources and put them back into the fields, and so the taxpayers aren't footing the bill for new soccer fields. I don't know if that helps. I think there's maybe 4 or 5 clubs in Winnebago County, but there's probably 25 clubs and, I don't know, 15 kids on each club. So whatever. All I know is that that whole county park is full and you can't find any parking anywhere. So however many, maybe the parks know how many cars can fit in Winnebago County parks, that would get you a number.
Thank you. I'm inclined to agree with Supervisors Buck and Nelson, but I'm going to just ask this question. Would it be too much of an encumbrance to exclude Winnebago County residents? Is that something, is that way, is that a no? I mean, that's like Milwaukee Zoo. You show that you're from Milwaukee, you get a discount, or you don't pay the same. So I'm just wondering, is that something that is not possible? So if it's a Winnebago County resident shows up to park, they aren't charged, but someone from out of the county is. Is that too?
Supervisor Buck, I'll let you talk. It's your third time, but I will let you answer that question.
Hot on the soccer topics. Okay, I think that they're volunteers doing it, Supervisor Hanson, so it's very, coalition of the willing, taking money, and it's pretty fast paced, so I think you would probably get some people going, I think you'd create a bottleneck there at the parking. It'd be hard for the volunteers to get that. I think it's a good idea, but I think it'd be hard for the soccer clubs to accomplish that.
But with that said, I will probably be voting in favor. Thank you.
So all those in favor of number 9? Supervisor Buck, Supervisor Hanson, Supervisor Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Second time.
Director Breest is here. He's still sitting in the back. If the question for Supervisor Hanson could be answered by our director, Parks Director, that's a possibility if you wanted him to speak to it.
Did you need him? We haven't been. Once in a while we do greatly, but so. Supervisor Stafford. Okay. We have a question, Supervisor Stafford.
Thank you. So I'm curious, we've been talking a lot about soccer, but the resolution speaks to special events. So I guess I'm curious, is the majority of this soccer, or is this also events like, I don't know, like Life Fest and other events that we hold through the year? So we're talking about soccer fields, but we're also collecting money on people who aren't using the soccer fields, right?
I have a question then following that. If it's Light Fest or whatever, are you talking about the whole parking grounds? I'll ask this to Supervisor Powers because she's chairman of that committee. Is it all the park, to follow up on Supervisor Stafford's?
Well, I know somebody mentioned the Hmong Festival, and I do know that there is, I believe that there is a parking fee for the Hmong Festival. I only say that because I was asked to speak at the Hmong Festival as the chairman of the Parks Commission, and I was issued a parking pass. So that led me to believe that there must have been a fee for the Hmong, and that's a huge event. Parking lots were full. I'm not sure I'm really answering the question you asked about.
Like Life Fest and all them, will they be paying this?
Well, it says we have the ability to do it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it automatically will happen.
Yes, sir.
So the actual bylaw, the supporting material indicates that we would do this as a test function, testing it with the soccer programs, with the possibility of extending it to other programs, is what it actually says in the black and white. Whereas Life Fest already has its own policy for charging for the event as a whole. Pretty sure I read that as I was going through this. So I just wanted to ask that question because we're tap dancing around it. Thank you.
Supervisor Stafford?
Yes. I think it should be made clear that both Life Fest and the Hmong Festival, you pay when you're on the fairgrounds, but the park across the street is free. And what we're talking about now is charging for the park across the street from Sunnyview, right? So I think we need to be clear on what we're talking about as well. Thank you.
I'm going to follow up on that again. This will be my second time. Okay, what do you do about fair? Sometimes fair has overrun. Are you going to charge those that are in the fair to go over there and park? I'm just asking because
I draw attention to the attachment that says, "The Parks Department would work with each organization to administer the fee and figure out the best process for each event." That's on page 130 of your current agenda, out of pages 166. That down here?
It's a volunteer.
Yeah, in 2026, we would test out the program by working with United Soccer and possibly the Oshkosh Rugby Club to test out the process. We'd then report back at the end of 2026 to the Parks Commission with the results from the year. If this program is successful, a subcommittee of all the user groups could be created in 2027 to help advise on the best use of funds each year.
so that's like Supervisor Patterson said. It was just they were going to try it out this year and then report back from there. Anything else? Oh, we got a whole bunch here. Supervisor Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was trying to get in because Supervisor Hanson couldn't get in, so I'm ashamed to you take it. He wanted,
Okay.
he couldn't get in.
Supervisor Nelson was talking, I guess I got to go back to him, I was told. Supervisor Nelson, do you have anything else on your end?
Yeah, I was just going to emphasize what Supervisor Powers said. First off, it's only $5 for starters. Second of all, there is some talk that instead of actually charging that fee could be added into the tournament structure so that the teams would just pay a little bit more to come and would be able to park for free, because it would be built into their amount that they pay to come and participate in the tournament. Currently, we have no flexibility to do anything with parking. This would give us that flexibility to test it out and see how well it works. Would encourage the passage of this so that our director can work. We aren't anxious to charge a fee for every car that parks in the park. We're trying to work a little bit on some of the special occasions that happen there so we can raise a little bit more funds to put it right back in. Maybe it's only soccer, maybe it's Life Fest, but currently we have no ability to charge anything unless this is passed. Thank you.
Supervisor Hintz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I'm reading this correctly, that now therefore the County Board of Supervisors does ordain as follows. Special event, Chapter 1912F, special event fee shall allow for the Parks Department to have the ability to charge a parking fee for special events hosted at the community park. This does not say the fairgrounds. This says the community park. There's a difference between what's across the street, which is the fairgrounds, and what is the community park. So according to this, anything that is going to be charged for has to happen at the community park, not at the fairgrounds. That's
Just
how
want
this
to
is.
tell you, Mr. Hintz, the fairgrounds has already had to park over on that side of the road, so it isn't, I'm not just talking about that part.
Right, but I'm talking about what's in here.
Right. But I'm saying
According to
what would
this,
happen if
the
they
only
had to
thing
go
is
over?
the community park on here. It does not say anything about the fairgrounds.
I know it don't say
So-
anything about the fairgrounds.
So as far as that goes, Life Fest shouldn't be part of that. The fair shouldn't be part of that. Anything that goes on across the street shouldn't be part of that because that's not the community park. That's the fairgrounds. I'm just stating that. If I'm incorrect, someone can correct me on that, but that's how I'm reading this. Thank you.
Supervisor Holt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I do have feedback on this, and that is that if we look at what is being proposed in the adjustments, in the edits, it is that the Parks Director may work with these organizations to establish a process, and it can be independent for each organization. It could be all kinds of things, right? But what we're authorizing is that the director and the executive have that authority. And honestly, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a great idea. It's a good use of, if it will be administered by those who are having this special event, or if it's administered by our Parks Department or some other combination of the two. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's important for us to maintain our grounds, and I hope at least a portion of those monies collected would be used to maintain our own grounds.
Supervisor Dowling.
Mr. Chairman, I guess I've been labeled as the anti-tax supervisor, and I'm okay with that. Just to set the record straight, though, the two questions I asked my community were, one, suppose you're coming to your kid's soccer tournament and there's a parking fee. Do you care? That was the first question I asked. The second question is, if you don't care, how much are you willing to pay? Those were the two questions I asked. I said nothing about tax. A few years ago, Life Fest tried charging parking fees, and it created a bottleneck situation on Snell Road, I believe, or County Y. So the Sheriff's Department said that you cannot have a guy standing there with a bucket asking for cash. So yes, the fee will be added in when you rent the facility. I did not mean to keep you all here with a lengthy discussion about this. I just, in good conscience, cannot vote for this, so call the question.
Motion been made and second to call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Okay, we have two that don't want to call the question. Yeah, we'll vote. Sure. And yes. Calling the question. Right. You're voting on the resolution now, because we said we did, all those in favor say aye, so that was unanimous.
I thought my screen said call the question. Yes. Okay.
You did. Call the question.
Right, right, that's what I said, was call the question. I did say, call the question, right.
And that's what you're voting on. You're voting on call the question.
We already did that. We did it. All those in favor signify by saying aye, and all but two. Right. We did,
Can we reissue the?
pardon?
On the motion then?
We reset it.
Okay.
When I asked him, I thought he had said, yes, we were gonna do it by machine vote, so that's why I did.
Okay, I appreciate you, thank you.
So I reset it, and now it's going to be motion to approve.
So we're voting by machine.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I know. Supervisor Gabbard? Yes. Supervisor Hanson? Yes. Supervisor Harrison? Oh, you got your vote. Takes a while from back there. Takes a while from back there. Twenty-five to 7, it passed.
Second, Dowling.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Carried. Drive safe home.